former X Division champion and number 22 on PWP's Top 25 of 2022, Mike Bailey here, and you are listening to Pro Wrestling Proverbs with Logan and Anthony.
The PWP Express was locked and loaded, and it went to Flint, Michigan last week. We went to the really cool Comic-Con. Third year in a row. Still as amazing as always. You didn't make it. There was a little scheduling conflict.
Yeah, your brother's grad party was a scheduling conflict.
Yeah. My brother graduated high school, had his open house the day before. Luckily, he's always fine with being the unofficial, third member. Using a pass when needed. Finding wrestling content at the conventions for us to post about. Certainly helpful. Really cool comments at the same place as it's been for as long as we've been going to it, the Dort Financial Center in Flint, Michigan. And I know what you're saying, Flint, Michigan, got a little bit of a reputation. I know at the open house we said where it was going to be at, and there's a couple people that said, we're not going to go to that then. Flint, like every city, has its good and its bad. And I think this is in a pretty good spot of Flint. There's nothing to be worried about. Definitely, if you're in the Michigan area, usually around July, take the trip. It's worth it. It's still a big open space, as it has been. Many vendors, wrestling and not wrestling. I know 2 years ago we talked about there wasn't a lot of wrestling stuff, and that's because SummerSlam usually would take place around the same time as the Really Cool Con, and that worked when SummerSlam and WrestleCon was in Michigan. But then when it wasn't in Michigan, it was harder for them to get wrestling stars, wrestling vendors booked. They talked about that on their social media. So they moved the date. And it worked out in their favor. As you see on the reel and short that I posted about my time there was there's a plethora of wrestling figures, wrestling merch. They had the WWE ringside exclusive figure, one of the vendors did, of CM Punk when he came back to the WWE. So he's in his white shirt and his jeans.
Oh, I've seen that. They're at they're selling them at my store.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I didn't buy one.
Buy all of them.
How much were they selling them for?
I think like $50.
$50?
Well, it was a ringside exclusive one, so I don't know if it's the exact same one.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah, no.
Because I have... Hold on. Oh, I can't... We're not video. I can't start. I was getting a figure, and I was deciding between that CM Punk one, where it's him in the white shit. I might be mistaken it now as you're saying it. It's fucking $50, or a Logan Paul. And I was like, dude, I already have 8 CM Punk figures. I'm gonna just get this Logan Paul one instead. But if the one I put back is worth $50, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a ringside exclusive one. Because I pointed out to my brother. Because you know how it is. We were the same way. He had money because it's open house, but he didn't want to spend it. Yeah. You know how it is. You have money, you don't want to spend it. When you don't have money, or someone's buying it for you, you want the world. But for wrestling guests, they had Tugboat / Typhoon / the Shockmaster, Fred Ottman, Uncle Fred to Cody Rhodes, and then they also had the Tribal Cheeks, Rikishi. I don't know if fans of the podcast remember, but the Sultan figure I loathed. Nothing against the Sultan character, and nothing against the look of the figure. The figure looks tremendous. It's heavily detailed. It's probably one of the best figures I own, to be honest. But the Sultan did not need a figure. The Sultan was created so that way Rocky Maivia would have a villain to beat at WrestleMania 13. They put Iron Sheik and Bob Backlund with him. It was supposed to be Sabu, but then when he found out it was going to be the Iron Sheik, he said, fuck that, and bounced, and they gave it to Rikishi. Sultan has a figure, and it's also not just because it's Rikishi. I think me and Mark Calloway having a figure is pretty dumb. I heard at one point they want to do a Los Conquistadors figure, Edge and Christian dressed up in the gold. I think that would be pretty dumb. I don't think Isaac Yankem needed a figure. That's another rant for another day. But my brother, because he heard that on the podcast, went to a Target with my mom one day, and lo and behold, they had a Sultan figure there. And with his first check from working, he bought the Sultan figure because it was clearance and on sale, and his brother said he certainly loved it. So Sultan's been hanging on my wall. And it's been a while since I've given an update on my wall, but I have the old LGN style classic superstars. I have a Bruno. I have Macho Mans. I have, a bunch of, first pieces of like Thea Hale, Charlotte, Becky. I have a D'Lo Brown autograph. And then right there, like a sore thumb, was the Sultan figure. So I figure, if he's going to be at Really Cool Con, I'm at least going to make the figure worth something. So I had Rikishi sign it. He was $80, which I thought was steep for just a figure. But that's just because my old head is used to, when I first went to conventions and I could meet people for like $20. Those days are gone. Even Ethan Page 3 years ago wanted 40. But I finally got up there. There's a family in front of me that got 2 Funkos, 2 figures, and like 4 8x10 signed. So in my head, I'm like, great, he's not gonna be in a good mood. Because I wouldn't be in a good mood after that. Because I'd be like, oh, you're reselling my shit. Great. But his Funkos to sign him were $100. Figures 80. I'm gonna assume meeting him 60. I finally get up there, getting the figure signed, and he looks at it and goes, "The Sultan, nice." And I was like, yeah. I'm like, it's a great looking figure. And he looks up at me and he goes, "That's when I had Sheiky baby." And I go, "Oh, the Iron Sheik, that must have been a time." And he looked over. He moved his glasses down his nose and he goes, "It was, brother." And then he signed it, Sultan Sheiky baby. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. He said he did the Sheiky baby too, so that would be special. That was something else I heard in line when he signed it as the tribal cheeks on someone's Funko. Is he wanted it to be special. So now I've got a signed Sultan figure down on my wall. It's funny because I have 4 wrestling figures signed now. I have the Ric Flair one from when I almost didn't get to meet him at Starcast, and that was their consolation prize. I have D'Lo Brown. I have the Haku because he didn't want to break a $20 bill, so he gave me the Micro Brawler signed. And now I have the Sultan. Definitely a mixed bag. Definitely a crazy Survivor Series team. But also while there, for any Muppet fans out there, they used to have a figure line made by Palisades. And it was really detailed. A lot of the figures are super expensive, even for used ones. I got a couple Muppet figures. I've never owned that brand. I was super excited to find them for $10. We also have a new LED sign here at the house for our Back to the Future area. It's pretty cool. It dims. My wife really wanted it, so I got it. Got a couple stickers from Delicious in Dungeon, a Netflix anime that we really like. And while there, my brother picked up the Jungle Express 2-pack, where Luchasaurus is sitting on Jungle Boy's arms. He got it for $20. There's always some really great deals at the con. I know last year I picked up the Rizzler, that Gobbledygooker figure for like $10, even though the 2-pack was selling for like $60 on Amazon, so it's a good deal. Prices at this are never crazy. I always think they're very fair, regardless of what you're looking for. There's always a little bit of something for everyone. Um, I love the communication with the owner slash founder of the con. He's always very respectful. He's always for our ideas too. We did the I guess sweepstakes contest where the winner got the tugboat autograph slash typhoon autograph. He was all for it, very excited. I like seeing the love that's put into the convention, and it's definitely always a bright spot. I always look forward to it. He's the first guy that I reach out to at the end of the year slash beginning of the year to say, hey, are we invited back? We love going. It's a hidden gem that we found when we first started back into the podcast. And it definitely lives up to its namesake of the biggest little con, the greatest little con. I can't say enough about it. Between the really cool con, the Michigan Comic Con, the Grand Rapids Comic Con, the Astronomicon, Michigan set, man. If you can't find a convention you like or something you like out of those, you must not have any interest. And I don't mean that mean, but I mean between those four, there's everything. And everyone that runs them, although some of the people that go to it might not be, everyone that runs them are all very respectful. They always put on good conventions. You'll enjoy this one. I heard multiple people talk about how the really cool con it smelled better this year than in previous years. That always makes me laugh because of the comparison between wrestling fans and stink. But this con did not stink, and not to be cliche, it was really cool. I think that's about where our PWP Express, our convention tour for 2025, is going to make its final stop, unless something comes up in the next few months, or we've talked about potentially going to Grand Rapids for Mick Foley's final tour. But as of right now, this is the last official stop for 2025. I decided to tone it back a little bit this year from previous years.
Yeah, there's a couple people we're looking out for.
Yeah.
If they make an unannounced or a last minute addition to somewhere close in the area, stayed away, for the most part. There's a few people.
Yeah, especially with the FOMO now, of which we talked about in another podcast. Hulk Hogan's recent passing. Didn't have the opportunity to meet him, and as you can tell, the dogs are upset too. So I think it's probably a good spot to wrap this up on the really cool con. But again, a great time as always, and we're excited to be back next year.